A warm greeting. Today is Monday, July 14, 2025. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia speaking. At the time of recording this video, it is 7 p.m. local time in Florida, where people should pay close attention to what has already been designated as Invest 93, which is associated with a low-pressure system that is formed to the east of the state. Throughout the day, we have been closely monitoring this area because Invest 93 has shown some signs of organization, and for this reason, the National Hurricane Center has increased the development chances to 20% during the next 48 hours as it moves westward, crossing over the Florida Peninsula, while the development chances over the next 7 days are now at 30%. Therefore, residents of southern Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana should also be alert to the evolution of this low-pressure system. In the visible satellite image, we can see that the system has good rotation. However, the northern and northwestern quadrants lack cloud cover, which is an indication that dry air is located to the north of the circulation. At least, this can somewhat limit its strengthening. And although the system looks very organized in the infrared satellite image, the reality is that this is mainly due to strong convection that has developed this afternoon over much of Florida, where some severe storms have been reported affecting the Tampa region. And although this rain is associated with Invest 93, in reality, the convection that has developed this afternoon over Florida has helped to limit the convective area of Invest 93. Remember, as I mentioned this morning, the next 24 to 36 hours are very important because a system that manages to organize itself faster than anticipated before reaching Florida could find better chances for strengthening once it moves towards southern Mississippi, Alabama, and near or over southeastern Louisiana. Also, remember that sea surface temperatures in this area are above 31 degrees Celsius. So if Invest 93 manages to organize itself more than anticipated, then it could become a tropical storm before moving between Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. Regardless of its development, quite a bit of rain is expected during the next 48 hours over much of Florida. Here you can see the projected Doppler radar animation for the next 48 hours, particularly a lot of rain across central Florida, where some localized flooding could occur, and eventually, as it moves toward Louisiana, Mississippi, or Alabama, some heavy rain is also expected with the potential to cause flooding across the local region. Later, I will show you the expected rainfall accumulations across these states. Let's now look at the latest projections from the global models. First, the American model shows a slightly more organized system compared to this morning's runs. A very well-defined low pressure moving over the state of Florida, but without becoming a tropical depression. But once it reaches the Gulf of Mexico waters, it could reorganize just before reaching Louisiana during the morning hours of Thursday. It's important to emphasize that, for now, the American model insists that a tropical cyclone will not develop. We also have the projection from the European model, which initially shows a fairly well-defined low pressure to the east of Jacksonville, but with a much more northerly movement compared to other models, and therefore, land interference in the latest run of the European model prevents a tropical cyclone from developing. Still, for Thursday, it has a low-pressure system moving over southeastern Louisiana, but again without developing into a tropical cyclone. So, why has the National Hurricane Center increased the development chances if the two best cyclogenesis models do not show tropical development? It's because other models do show the potential development of a tropical storm. For example, the German model shows significant organization over the next 24 hours, which eventually, according to the model, could result in the development of a tropical storm before moving over Louisiana on Thursday morning. And although we could say that the German model is currently an outlier, we also have the UK model showing a more defined low pressure developing just before entering Louisiana, perhaps as a tropical depression or tropical storm in the morning hours of Thursday. Furthermore, if we look at the latest run of the European model's ensemble members, many more of them develop a tropical depression or tropical storm just before reaching Louisiana. However, I also want you to see that the members with a more northerly track weaken the system over land in the southeastern United States. This is why I mentioned that a more northerly track would limit cyclonic development, while if it takes a more southerly track, it would allow the system to move over very warm ocean surface temperatures and could lead to the formation of a tropical depression or tropical storm. Meanwhile, some members of the American model ensemble also develop perhaps a tropical depression, although for now only about 15 to 20% of the ensemble members. The members of Google's artificial intelligence model have also increased the development chances this afternoon. In fact, some of them develop a more defined low pressure just before moving over Florida and eventually, with that westward movement, eventually reaching southeastern Louisiana, perhaps as a weak tropical depression or tropical storm. So, based on what we have seen today, it is very likely that at 8 p.m. the National Hurricane Center will increase the development chances to 40%. And for residents of the Florida Peninsula, southern Mississippi, Alabama, and southeastern Louisiana, be alert for the potential for some flooding. For example, models project that much of Florida will receive between 2 to 3 inches of rain over the next 48 hours, while from Thursday through Saturday, between 2 to 4 inches could fall across southern Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Well, here at Hurricane Info, we will continue to closely monitor the evolution of Invest 93 and will keep you informed of any changes in the projections. And before I go, I want to invite you to like this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay informed, and click the bell so you receive notifications when I record new videos. With this, I say goodbye for now. See you tomorrow.